All right. Our next author is called Soulless Singularity. We had them very recent. Well, yeah, it is pretty recent, I would say. Less like around a month from now. Which was 2552, which was the imaginary friend that's kind of like hovering over an actual person, and they're like, "You're forgetting me, and I don't want you to forget me." Which the video for that will come out in September of this year, so you have to wait for that one. But it is like a little bit of a sad idea, because like it's like, yeah, it's an imaginary friend. It's like, I don't want you to forget me. But like, of course, as an adult, it's like, hey, you're not real. Like, why are you here? Why are you here? But yes, and I'm happy because I've been seeing this title. Looking at the title was there for a while, and I've been excited to say this title out loud. But the title is Cthulhu. Fuck off! What a title! What a title! Love it, love it. All right, here we go. It's also, damn, that's a. It's been a while since we had an SCP in the over the thousands rating. That's crazy. Object class Euclid Keller. Spec containment procedures. Containment of SCP-2662 is primarily focused on preventing unauthorized entry into its containment unit. For this purpose, on-site task force Town 9 belligerent bodyguards have been organized to guard SCP-2662's containment unit and keep track of new villagers focusing on the worship of SCP-2662. Task force Town 9 is to use non-lethal methods when dealing with an attempt of unauthorized entry. Authorized to use lethal force if necessary. All members of Task Force Town 9 are to be tested biannually for cognitive hazardous influence. As containment of SCP-2662 is completely voluntary, it is currently contained in an enlarged humanoid containment unit with standard safety measured for low-risk humanoids as detailed in document 0998-KA. Additionally, SCP-2662 is allowed one copy of a daily newspaper of its choice, a computer, and requested computer games totaling no more than $50 every month. Description: SCP-2662 is a cognitive hazardous entity, approximately 4 meters in height and 200 kilograms in weight. SCP-2662 appears to be in a vaguely humanoid shape, with approximately 20 additional muscular hydrostats in similar structure to cephalopod limbs attached to its back. Okay. These limbs are fully functional and allow... Sorry. Sorry. Listen, it's the opening of an anime about wolves. It gets me. Okay? It happens. Which also, by the way, Steph, the Wolf's Rain, which is the anime that this opening is from, also made by Studio Bones, the same people who made Fullmetal Alchemist and My Hero Academia. The guy likes wolves. Yes, I indeed do. Oh yeah, Steph, I can show you now. I can show you. Look, this is the wolf I adopted. Look at her. Actually, let me... There you go. There's a very cute story behind that, but I'll keep that for another time. Where was I? These systems are fully functional and allow SCP-2662 to perform up to 10 different tasks at once. SCP-2662's primary anomalous effect only occurs after long-term repeated exposure, usually by being in the same room as or interacting daily with SCP-2662. Subjects exposed to SCP-2662 for a period of 6 months or longer are at risk of becoming actively aware of SCP-2662 wants or needs and are compelled to fulfill them. They may also suffer from quasi-psychotic episodes when under stress. SCP-2662 is unable to affect humans that have a 2 or higher Mars Mind Affecting Resistance Scale score, which has a footnote that says, SCP-2662 can only affect approximately 5% of the human population and 2% of Foundation personnel. It is therefore considered a low-risk cognitive hazard. You say that, but why is it in Keter, huh? Is he the Wolfman? Oh no, when's the next full moon? Are we doomed? Exactly, Casabon knows what's up. Henry over here keeps me on the check. Henry uses all of his mystical powers to make sure I'm okay. Like the moment I go like, Henry's like, no, and I'm like, what? Come on, man, just once, just once. Let me go. Let me just woo once. And Henry's like, no, no woos. You won't let me have any fun. SCP-2662's secondary anomalous effect is the spontaneous generation of religious followings at an approximate rate of at least once a month. That's what Cthulhu does. This generation is involuntary and causes SCP-2662 notable distress. Henry is a good man. Henry, yeah. Yes. Religious groups generated by SCP-2662 usually focus on attempting to break into its containment unit in order to perform various rituals that are violent and or sexual in nature. Yo, hey, you leave that deity alone, okay? Consensual. Consent first! These groups tend to be highly organized and appear to adapt to each failed attempt, despite there being generally no contact between different generated religious followings. Below is an incomplete log of incidents relating to SCP-2662. A full list can be found in document Y. Okay, here we have Incident 7. On 2003, a religious group known as Towards Him. Wow. Towards Him successfully broke into SCP-2662's containment. Incident 7 log excerpt. What a name. So at 2250, SCP-2662 is seen taking a shower in preparation for sleep. There's a loud noise as previously undiscovered explosives are detonated underneath the center of SCP-2662's containment unit. They basically have cults without consent from their god. I mean, to be fair, that's probably a lot of cults. the gods that they pray to are probably like, hey, listen guys, I don't want any of this. And the cults are like, no, you do. It's how else would we show our devotion and love and loyalty to you? It's like, I don't know, just, you know, just survive. Survive while being a good person. It's like, no. That's not how it goes. We have to absolutely ruin hundreds of families. 2251, 5 injured civilians climb out of the hole left by the detonation. SCP-2662 leaves the shower to investigate the node. Can you imagine being SCP-2662 and be like, what the hell is going on over here? 2252 agents and notify Task Force Tau 9 of a breach into containment. They attempt to suppress the initial 5 civilians unsuccessfully as 5 more arrive with weapons. 2256, after a brief struggle, agents and are pinned down and tied with rope by civilians. The injured civilians approach SCP-2662. The uninjured civilians stab their hands with knives, masturbate, and then... Let me read that again. The uninjured civilians stab their hands with knives, masturbate, and then draw unknown symbols on the walls with a mixture of sexual fluids and blood. 2258 SCP-2662. Oh man, come on, it's really not sanitary or necessary. SCP-2662 appears to gag upon witnessing the symbols. Oh. The injured civilian successfully corner SCP-2662 in the shower stall. Is this gonna be an SCP where we're like, hey, listen, it might be an anomaly, but consent is still a priority here, okay? It might be some weird deity thing, but the consent, hello. 2259. Injured civilians are seen squeezing blood out of their wounds and rubbing it onto SCP-262 while singing. Jesus Christ! Stop, please! I just took a shower. 23 o'clock, Task Force Town 9 arrived to SCP-262's containment unit. Task Force Town 9 managed to suppress all civilians successfully. Proceed to move SCP-262 to a temporary unit until repairs can be completed. You better fucking strengthen security. At the end, like the poor SCP. Like the SCP is just like it has the effect that people just want to do that to him. To them. Does it say him or him? It just says them, right? Because it's like a entity. Yeah, to them. Like they are just like, yeah, I'm just existing, and suddenly a fucking cults show up, like, it's like, You're like, it's like, no, leave me alone. I hate all of this. Understandable. SCP-262 was in the shower and shit just went down. Yeah. A lot of shit went down. Incident. This is how Cthulhu is in my headcanon. I haven't read the book where they come from. I mean, it's not how it is in the book. In the book, it's literally like, I mean, to be fair, in the book he does make everybody go insane, and that this you could argue is the work of insane people. But their insanity is mostly that they want to either A, kill themselves or bash their heads in or kill other people, not that they want to like sexually assault the guy. And I understand, especially on Twitter, a lot of ladies look at Cthulhu and go, ooh. Is depraved? Absolutely. I'm a degenerate. I'm a degenerate. I have a lot of kinks, I have a lot of fetishes, but at the end, motherfuckers, consent, and also, just don't do that. This is beyond. This has been made rather insane for matching that scene. Incident 13 on 2005, a religious group known as the Betrothed successfully broke into SCP-262's containment. How did they break in? I mean, I'm also determined, but if there isn't any consent, I'm not into. Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, there's like, it's just like, poor Cthulhu was just like, hey man, I just took a shower. Actually, I should do like, hey man, I just took a shower. Because like, Cthulhu has tentacles normally like in front of. I know he has appendages in the back, but. Actually, since he has appendages in the back, I'm not gonna do. Consent is sexy. My ex, which I told you about, Steph. Even though I would say I was kind of forced into it with her, and that's the major reason why consent for me is so important. Because like the first couple times was like. It was consensual, but there was a lot of times where I just did not want to, but because I was so afraid of her anger, or at least, you know, ruining the day with her anger, I was kind of like forced to get into it, and I'm just, yeah, a lot of it was just not fun. Okay, let's read what? Oh god, this is gonna be bad. Log X sub 13. 822 SB2662 is seen eating breakfast and reading a newspaper. The idea of Cthulhu reading like a regular sized newspaper, because Cthulhu is supposed to be like massive, right? He's supposed to be like colossal, but this entity is still 4 meters tall. So the idea of a 4 meter tall behemoth reading a newspaper. That would be the equivalent of like this size of paper, like this, you know, like I'm sorry, it's listen, at the end, I'll take a positive side from it. At the end, it helped me understand the tragedy and the horrendousness behind the feeling of sexual. I know it's weird to say that because, like, as a guy, you often, and especially as a guy in my teenagehood, sexual assault and rape was considered a joke, right? It was like the amount of like stand comedians that used that as a punchline was way too high back then. So you never fully understood, as a guy, you never fully understood like the full on, like just evil meaning behind that word and the action. So that moment, even I wouldn't say I was sexually assaulted, but it definitely helped me to fully understand really early on, this is what girls are afraid of. It just makes me a more understandable person. So that even though that the moment was not fun, it was horrible, I'll take the positive spin is that I at least understand the struggles of women a lot more thanks to that. Because I could have just been another dude who just takes way too long to understand that. I could have been fucking 20, my age right now, and still be like, you know, sexual assault is not that bad, guys. And it's like, and you guys would be like, who the fuck is this man? Why are we watching his streams? So I'll take the little bit of positive light in a little puddle of dark. So, okay, 824 security officer stationed at SCP-2662's containment unit enter with researcher. The researcher can be seen carrying a piglet. 825. Can I help you? 826 researcher. Oh, our lord, please accept this innocent suckling swine, freshly orphaned from slaughter of both mother and father. May its soul of loss fuel you. Researcher proceeds to castrate the piglet in front of. What the fuck are you doing? SCP-2662 and place the testes on SCP-2662's food. 828. No thanks. I'm full. Go home. Your lord is pleased with the offering. Task Force Town 9 is notified of a breach into containment. 829. SCP-2662 attempts to read its newspaper. Researcher slits the piglet's neck and throws it on the table. Blood spatters the newspaper. 830. What? Look, can you go read a Bible? Is this like Cthulhu's like version of like go outside and touch grass? Like, I'm sorry, but I know like with the pig that was horrendous and that's fucked up. But like the idea of Cthulhu, like go fucking read a Bible. You really need it. SCP-2662 puts the newspaper down. The accompanying security officer execute researcher. We are gone through the head, then they begin consuming her. 832 SCP-2662 leaves the scene to vomit in the toilet. So yeah, see, that's what I'm saying though. Like Cthulhu does make you go insane. He does make you go insane. So like people consuming each other probably has happened in the actual lore. But it's just funny, the idea of Cthulhu is like, dude, guys, what the hell? I'm really glad you came out of it and found the bit that you could out of it. You're strong for that. I love how you're going on a deep conversation about consent on the funny Cthulhu SCP, the whip. I mean, yeah, because at the end, even Cthulhu's like, hey man, consent please. Can you imagine Cthulhu going to church? And read about it, it's like, yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. It's basically, yeah, it's all that stuff. But I still think it's Cthulhu's way of like, go outside, touch grass, leave him alone. Task Force Town 9 arrived to move SB-262 to temporary containment unit and detain the guards. After further investigation, all involved personnel were civilians posing as personnel. How did they even get this close? It is unknown as to the whereabouts of the actual researcher and security officer. So they probably like did like the full like Hitman 47, knock them out, take the clothes off, and pretend to be them, and then be like Incident 78. Oh my, 78 incidents. That's how many. I feel bad. I feel so bad for SB-2662. He's just like, please, just leave me alone. Today we learned even Cthulhu thinks consent is sexy. Absolutely. There's actually a visual novel where you can date Cthulhu, or at least a female version of Cthulhu. And yeah, consent is sexy. On 2014 and unarmed, which by the way, Steph, I have some stories to tell you that of a guy that makes my blood boil to this day. Well yeah, I'll leave that for another day. An unnamed religious group consisting is a guy that I actually went to college with, and so it's even worse because I had to deal with that motherfucker physically. So, religious group consisting of D-class personnel and 2 members of Task Force Town 9 successfully broke into SB-262's containment. SB-262 was redesignated as Keter upon further review of okay, stop guys, stop. I have to really say, I love the idea. I know it's probably not the reason why they did it, but I love the idea that they put him on Keter because he's getting harassed so many times. They're like, okay, we gotta put him on Keter because then we have more budget, we can protect him better. But in this, I know the Foundation's logical side is, okay, his effect is reaching out a lot more people than we expected. We need to put him on Keter so we can prevent the effect from happening this often. But I also love the idea of one of the researchers being like, okay, man, I feel bad for the guy. we have to get higher budget because clearly putting him on Nuclear has not done shit. He's being harassed 78 times. Come on now. 2662 makes people from calls. Wait. 2662 makes people from cults around them. Don't you mean 262 makes cults from people around them? Like all the way around? I like to imagine that this SCP wasn't caught by the Foundation. They just went there and begged to be contained. Like, please guys, I don't know what's going on. Okay, here we go. So, help me, please. SB-262 was redesigned, yep. Incident 78. Okay, what the brave shit did they do to him this time? 7 o'clock. So, oh my god, it's 4 in the morning when they. Oh, he can't even sleep in peace. SB-262 can be seen sleeping in its bed. 4:10. The entirety of Task Force Town 9 is called for an off-site mission. No, don't. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I'm putting money down. Some civilian has found a way to sneak in and has asked Task Force Town 9 to leave. To make sure that the security would be less strong. Against orders, Task Force Town 9 chose to leave 4 of its members behind to keep watch on SB-262. Thank God they're smart. 4:15, 2 of the remaining members tackle and lock the other 2 in an unused containment unit. Let him sleep! Let that poor Cthulhu sleep! 4:20, Blazed. A cargo truck arrives on site where SB-262 is being kept. Wait. A cargo truck arrives on site where SB-262 is being... Oh, okay, the site is where... Yeah, gotcha. I was like, wait. My god, I'm grading papers and I almost tapped someone's name as Cthulhu. 4:25. The 2 remaining members unload the cargo of D-class personnel. The lead the D-Class personnel to Task Force Town 9's armory. 4:30, the D-Class and the remaining members arm themselves from the armory and break into SCP-262's containment unit. 4:31, SCP-262 is roused. Several D-Class personnel guard the exit to the containment unit as well as the corresponding hallway. Huh? What? Are we moving? I'm not scheduled until next week. 4:35, agents and the two remaining available members of Task Force Town 9 begin undressing the D-Class personnel that are not guarding. 4:36, SCP-262 attempts to alert Task Force Town 9 to no response. 4:37, agents and begin carving symbols into the buttocks and thighs of the undressed D-Class personnel. The D-Class personnel begin to engage in group sex after being 4:39. What the fuck? Seriously? Now? Look, seriously, can you go find another god? I hear Buddhism is all around. I feel bad for SCP-262, but I also think, like, I just think it's so hilarious that, like, that Cthulhu himself is like, just stop worshipping me already. D-Class 99304 attempts to pull SCP-262 into the group. SCP-262, the fuck? Stop. Seriously. Lord commands you and all that stuff to cut this shit out. 4:40, all D-Class personnel currently engaged in sex cease their movements. They all turn to stare at SCP-262. The Task Force Town 9 arrive at the off-site meeting point only to be told no such mission exists. Task Force Town 9 begins moving back to site. 4:41, oh thank God. I can control you guys now. Kinda. Maturity's happening right on time. Good to know. Okay, tell me, what the fuck is going on here? 4:42, agent. After the blood birthing ritual, we're going to take you to your sacred chambers where we, our families, and our lineage will remain in the service to you for all eternity. The people here cage you. With us you may go where you please. 4:45. You must be kidding. I can leave whenever I want. I just have to ask. Besides, the D-Class person begin to continue engaging in group sex. Seriously, stop! You're all fucking disgusting. I'm not even ready to settle down with a cult yet. I'm only like 200 years old. I'm barely legal. Oh no! Oh God! That makes it even worse what they did before with him. 4:46, agent. Do you really think the Foundation will let you go if you ask? Well, you can certainly ask. You'll be so disappointed, my lord. 4:48. Yeah, well, if it turns out to be the case, I can just wait until I'm strong enough to break out. In the meantime, I'm going to sit in my bathroom and wait. The rest of you can do your stupid blood orgy. SCP-262 moves to the shower stall and turns on the water. It sits in the shower stall for the remainder of the incident. He's just like... Barely legal at 200 is crazy. It's a very... So one question I have though. Why is this called... Cthulhu... Fuck off? And I know there's like a little... forgot what those things called, like, you know, on the top after the F, because like F and then off, because like, it's not like they're saying fuck off to Cthulhu, it's more like Cthulhu saying fuck off to everybody else. I had at the end I felt bad for Cthulhu. I can see why it got a lot of like attention from the community, because it is funny to imagine Cthulhu just being like, God, leave me, fuck, just read the Bible, practice Buddhism, anything else. Waking up to an orgy in front of you at 4 AM has to be the worst way of beginning the day, absolutely. Like, the only way that you can accept that is if you are consensually saying like, hey honey, we are very freaky, we are very open in our relationships. If you ever decide to like invite a couple people and just start an orgy in the morning before I wake up, I would find that attractive. That's the only time, and that's like a 0.05% chance that it ever happened in the world. That's the only time it's acceptable. But other than that, if you just asleep and suddenly you wake up to everybody going, oh yeah, it's just moaning and groaning all around you, and you're like, what the hell is happening? And you just see people just like carving into their asses while fucking each other. You're like, it's like, what in the heck? Why? I got work in the morning. I agree with you, I would hate that. The first thing I want in the morning is coffee, barely legal. SCP's like those people. Stop and get some help. I get the SCP name of Cthulhu, which says fuck off. I want to say the word since it's bad. I won't say the word since it's bad. A blood orgy first thing in the morning? No, absolutely not. Yeah, blood orgy first thing in the morning. I would absolutely be like, have you guys thought that I don't? Maybe I don't. Have you thought about not doing that? But yeah, no, I feel bad. I feel bad for that SCP. So much bullshit, and it's 78 incidents. 78 incidents. I'm surprised that it took them 78 incidents for them to be like, you know what? Maybe we should put him on Keter, so that we have a higher budget to contain and protect him, you know? I would say after 8, I would be like, this has happened a little bit too often. Like I can, from the Foundation's point of view, I can understand Euclid and then be like, okay, 5 times. We don't know how many months have passed each time it happened, so if it's like 5 times within like 3 years, I'd be like, oh, you know, it's not that bad. But still, the moment I reach double digits, I'd be like, okay, guys, we have to actually strengthen the security around here. Like, I don't understand why this is still happening. We should go from like it's rarely happening to it's not happening ever again. Like, I don't understand why, how this is still a thing.